I mean, from my knowledge and expertise in government work, the stereotype of about four people or five people on a job site and about one and a half person doing the labor and about three and three quarters people watching just
Mm-hmm.
for shits and gigs.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty fucking true.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You got five guys standing around. Say they're making 25 dollars an hour. We'll say. So you've got, and then that's good. That's like generous, but for that kind of labor.
Well, yeah,
Um.
yeah,
So you got $125 an hour standing around while one guy does work. Uh,
yeah,
just wasting money. And I see that same thing in my job now. Like I'm not there's a union department that we deal with all the time.
yeah.
We basically just fix their fuck ups.
Uh,
Um, and the project that I'm doing right now was supposed to be their work, like they wanted it,
yeah,
but they and the reason that they wanted it was so that they could charge overtime because they take too long on purpose to do regular work so that they can say, "Oh, we're swamped. We are essential because we're doing all this stuff, we're doing all this work, and it takes this long.
yeah,
You have to give us overtime and whatever." So they wanted it, but um, they're like, "No, we can't just have you do this on overtime." So the company decided to make it its own project, and now here I am doing that project. And thank God, because it's way better work than what I was doing before, and we can talk about that in a second.
yeah.
But these people's attitude that are part of the union is just so shitty. A lot of the times, you can't generalize,
Well, yeah,
and I don't want to, but the majority of the things that we see that the union people are doing and what they say back to us in response to our work is they don't want us stepping on their toes because it's in their contract that they are supposed to be doing this sort of work, but they're doing it wrong and we're fixing it. And then
yeah.
they get all pissy, and then we have to go back and forth, and our vice president has to freaking like say, "Hey, we're fixing these amount of errors that you guys are causing and we're making these things better," or whatever. But it's just like this whole attitude where we're protected by the union. We can do whatever we want, and you can't do shit about it. And you're gonna pay us this much money to do whatever we want. It's like that's like the whole attitude, and it really it's kind of upsetting because like I see the people that I work with and the groups that I work with, like the other teams that are non-union. Like these people are fucking busting their balls all day,
Yeah.
every day, with one sole goal of making this project work. And then like these union people are like, my job's safe, so I don't give a shit.
Fuck y'all.
And it's just like so kind of disheartening to see. Um,
Well, yeah, I mean it's the same thing of like I mean, you understand more or less the situation and what it is down in the county and the fact
yeah,
that it's kind of fucked and like a lot of people down there more or less could give two fucks less and would much rather make some of the temporary help do their complete job for them and so that they could just sit there and fucking watch you do fucking labor that they're normally supposed to do. And I learned that last summer, and going into this summer I could tell I've told my boss that I could give two fucks less. I'm gonna make whoever I'm working with, they're gonna fucking work with me. They're
yeah,
gonna do the same labor that I'm fucking doing, and I could care less who gets run over by the bus on that one. To be completely honest with you.
yeah. I totally understand what you're talking about. I did the same job that you're doing, and yeah, you've got the one guy who's the union steward. He's like, well, that's not in my contract. I'm not doing that. I'm not picking that up. I'm not going to do this thing.
Yep.
Like, really? You can't, like, that to get your job done, you have to do this thing that might be a little bit questionable. That's literally not written down in your contract, but I don't I don't know. But at the same time, like, we can trash on unions all we want. But at the same time, like, they were created out of necessity. Like, when people were getting absolutely abused, working 80 hours a week with no health insurance, no safety regulations. Like, people are freaking getting their arms chopped off and freaking stamping mills and like burned alive in steel smelting plants and all this shit. So like, they were
Yeah.
created out of necessity, but
Yes.
it's
But
like,
nowadays, it's just like, is it really worth? Like, I don't think that the conditions of which people are working are that bad
no,
as they were.
no, absolutely not. And you know what's another crazy thing is
Hmm.
that the unions as like a collective are kind of like the new day mob, where they influence things outside of uh, just so like the teachers union, the iron workers union, the
Yeah.
fucking bus driver union, all this shit. They are kind of like the mob in a sense where they use their influence to uh, control things. So they are like the biggest donator to Democratic campaigns, unions.
No shit.
Yes.
I
So
mean, I believe it. It's just like the NRA working for the fucking Republicans.
yeah, that's yep. But they're a private organization that has nothing to do with labor or anything like that. It's just like a
Well,
members
yeah.
a members only thing.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, they advocate for gun owners' rights and stuff like that, and they can do that. That's not a big deal.